Surprise! I'm in bed again. Still, I'm turning into the grandparents from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We just need 3 more of us. Kidding. I can do that role all by myself. Look at Louise. Doesn't she look so innocent? They're a little wound up this morning. So, unbelievably, it is December. I know I'm a broken record, but time is extra weird during quarantine. Hey, and Thanksgiving is usually my cue. The drum roll, as my friend calls it, to just like Pavlov's dogs just go into like a deep depression and hate the holidays and be miserable. I've gotten better over the past few years. And that sounded judgmental. Like I was suggesting that being upset with the holidays is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Holidays are terrible as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, it is very nice that it's December and I'm not in a depression. And I give credit, of course, always to my medication. Go Big Pharma. Milo, come here. Hey, Milo. Look, isn't he a funny looking dog? Gosh, look how he's Mr. Muscle. But also, I don't know how to. These messages, they often to me sound like they're going to come across as corny, but I guess maybe I've turned corny in my Charlie and the Chocolate Factory grandparent old age. I'm going to do my very best to have a good attitude this holiday season. I'm doing it in honor of John Byrne, who loved Christmas. I'm not going to get crazy and get a tree or anything, but I'm going to do my best to have a good attitude. And if I get grouchy or sad, I'm just going to crank up the self-care, if that's possible. And I'm going to do it. This year, there was something I did have a specific thing to say. I can't remember. It's cold out. I'm in bed with a bunch of dogs. Look at these good-looking dogs. I got the fake fireplace on, always. And, oh my gosh, I guess this. I'll ask you. So it's December, as we already mentioned. What do your holidays normally look like? Do you genuinely like them? And how are they going to be different this year? And do you care? Those are all things I want to know. And when I think of, I know, the other reason I'm in a great mood today is it is the eve of the birth of Henry. And so that means that 30 years, oh my gosh, it was like yesterday, I weighed well over 200 pounds. Nothing wrong with that. But talk about turtle on my back. Couldn't see my feet or anything, I don't think. Anyway, I went into labor during Saturday Night Live. 17 hours, no drugs. A friend of mine said, all the drinking and drugs you did recreationally, why don't you use drugs at an appropriate time? We'll talk more about Henry's birth tomorrow. But let me know how it's December. How is that affecting you? I'm so happy today. I still have my lingering sadness and my grief about my friend John and about the state of the world, but I am quite light sensitive and the sun has come out, so hang on, puppies. I need a rubber band. Anyway, that feels good. I got a game and some questions today. So probably could be separate topics, but I have this idea for December. We'll see if I do it or not. But, I get off working in the kitchen. It's like, you see one of those things like, bliss, their bodies being lifted up to the open arms of Jesus. I feel like that in the kitchen. And, why was I even telling that? Who gives a shit? It's Monday. So, let's start with the hairbrush and then we'll get to the game called Spaghetti on the Wall. Jen came out the other night and so we could catch up and get massages and stuff. And also so she could trim my hair. Now, Danny's been doing my hair for decades and before Danny, Lauren. And, let's talk about hairdressers and psychologists and stuff and when you switch. And And Danny, if you're watching, you know I'll be back. This COVID thing's got me freaked out. But Jen came out and it was just like, gosh, it's so nice to be so pampered. And she had a really good brush, and I recently lost my brush, so I ran to the gas station and bought one. And when she brushed my hair so many times, she told me to think of Marsha Brady. Marsha. So I ordered a hairbrush. Now, I may have had a nice brush at some point in my life. I don't remember. This brush was like $15. Sorry to get a lot of my hair in it. It feels so nice. It feels like this ultimate act of self-care. It feels, oh God, $15. And it'll bring me years of joy. And it just got me thinking how, like, growing up, this is not like an angry, sad growing up story. This is just the reality is, growing up really poor, like, there were just things, whatever, everything was cheap. Like the cheap hairbrushes, or we didn't have top sheets. What the hell's a top sheet? You know, I don't remember how I learned this stuff along the way, but somehow I learned how to not really necessarily blend with the bouge people. You know, I waited on them. As a writer, I've been invited to some fancy parties. And I like to think, whether it's true or not, that if I am at one of these fancy gatherings, you know, back in the old days when people gathered, hi Luna. Any gaffe that I did make, Luna just ate it to catch it, can be chalked up to I'm an eccentric writer. So a question I have is which economic, where did you like to grow up, poor or rich or whatever? And is it easy for you to kind of blend in with people from different financial whatever? Top sheets. You know, I recently bought a second set of sheets. Now I bought a couple more sets of sheets. But a friend of mine, when she got a set of sheets, second set, she's my age, she's like, I feel like a grown-up now. I have 2 sets of sheets. So there's just some things that I grew up without, I don't think about a lot, and if I want to have it, I can have. If I want 2 sets of sheets, I can have that. If I want a nice hairbrush, I can have that. This is less about possessions, I think, I hope, and more about self-care. What's something that you didn't know growing up that you figured out for yourself? And then, I don't know if this is related or not, but today's game is spaghetti at the wall. I'm wearing my scone porn t-shirt today. And the order window closes today at 2. It's sconepro.com/order. Anyways, you know, that was just a total whim. It popped into my head. Some people said we want scones. I'm like, boom, the business is open. And I know some people are like, how did you do that? And that also goes back to growing up poor. It's like, I just was perpetually scheming, from selling, not paper mache, but crepe paper roses and little beads and stuff. From the time I was very young, it's just I kind of had to do the hustle. I did have to do the hustle just to, you know, if I wanted something. I got my first pair. Come on, Milo, get out of the cat shit. Milo, come here. Oh, God. Come here. He just looked at me like, I will not. Anyway, I remember my first pair of new jeans I got. I was 14 and I earned the money for this. This isn't a tragedy. It's great. You know, earn your own money, buy your own things. But spaghetti at the wall, I was like, okay, well, I'll just see what this happens with the scone thing. And it'll work. And then I was like, well, I took the ceramics class. I'm like, well, I need to do something with that. So you've seen these before, but this is totally spaghetti at the wall. You know, this is my little plants that I make and my little pots that I make that brings me so much fun. So I've got this other idea, and it sounds kind of silly, but I think I might try it. And you can give me your opinion. So solicited opinion. I don't want to know any nuts and bolts advice. I just want to know, what do you think of the idea? So I thought I might turn the tiny chapel into the world's smallest restaurant. Wasn't there a Saturday Night Live skit about that? And I thought I would call it Chez Groc. And the tagline would be, come and get it. Do you get it? Like Cafe Groc. I mean, Chez Groc, come and get it. Is that funny? I think that's kind of funny and nerdy. And then what would happen is just 2 people can fit in the chapel, maybe 4. I have to go do some measuring. And you pay, X amount of dollars. It's all candlelit because there's no electricity out there. And you make your reservation, and then I prepare your meal. It'll be vegetarian, but lots of dairy, don't worry. And there'll be like galettes and homemade ice cream and maybe pizza and pasta. And of course, there'll be delicious, delicious desserts. It's a great place to propose or to celebrate yourself or a birthday or whatever. So shake rock in the tiny chapel. What do you think about that idea? Okay, long enough. How are you? Happy Monday. I gotta go get a lot of stuff done, but now emptying the kitty litter box will be less. I'm trying because Luna and Milo help with that. Thanks, guys. See you later. Hey, y'all. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this episode, I hope that you'll copy this link, share it with a friend, paint it on a wall, put it on your social media. That'd be great. Thanks a million. Take it easy.